Once upon a time, a goat decided to run for the position of mayor, and surprisingly, it won the election. Meanwhile, there exists a place whose name is so lengthy that it exceeds 2,000 characters, making it virtually impossible to remember or pronounce. Additionally, there is a location so obscure and forgotten that it regularly vanishes from world maps altogether. Sounds like the stuff of fiction, doesn't it? Yet, it's all very real. This distant island nation masterfully combines bizarre peculiarities with breathtaking beauty. Here, thrill-seekers leap from airplanes just for the exhilaration of freefall, chasing adrenaline and adventure. The local inhabitants are known to use profanities as punctuation marks, and their Christmas celebrations are more associated with the sun than with snow and winter festivities. This is a land where sheep govern the landscape, fierce winds sweep across the plains, and there's a bold tradition of electing goats to positions of authority. Truly, it might be considered the strangest country on our planet. But perhaps, it's worth exploring further to uncover whether such claims are accurate. Below, you will find 15 astonishing facts that serve as compelling evidence that New Zealand is unlike any other place on Earth. Let's start with number 15. Number 15. When did a goat become the president? Could an agricultural animal genuinely lead a town? One of the most extraordinary stories from this island nation involves a goat named President who became a local celebrity after being unofficially elected by an energetic community. This animal ran unopposed and emerged victorious in a symbolic mayoral election in the small settlement of Wanganamona, a place that declared itself a republic back in 1989. The election was a playful protest against changes in regional borders, embodying the whimsical spirit of local resistance. Since then, the residents have annually held mock elections during their Republic Day celebrations. Over the years, the leadership roles have been filled not only by humans but also by dogs, and even by goats. The goat president took office in that very year and quickly became a beloved figure among the dozens of residents, charming everyone with his antics, until he was eventually dismissed for consuming too many official documents. This humorous episode transformed the day into a grand celebration, attracting thousands of tourists eager to stamp their passports in Wanganamona and partake in the festivities. This isn't merely a funny story or a joke, it's a reflection of the playful political spirit and the strong sense of community that characterizes New Zealand. Where else can a goat wear a mayor's badge and munch on paperwork as if it were government policy? Only here, and this is just the beginning. Number 14. A person with a name consisting of over 2,000 characters. Could you write your name if it contained more than 2,000 letters? One man did more than just say yes, he made it official. During the 1990s, a former New Zealand resident legally changed his name to an incredibly long one, so lengthy that pronouncing it took several minutes, and standard identification forms simply couldn't accommodate it. This record holder, whose name was composed of elements from Greek mythology, Roman emperors, Arthurian legends, and his own wild fantasies, had a precise length of 85 words and approximately 1.19 characters. While this was not exactly 2,000 characters, the legend continues to grow. His name included references to mythic figures such as Hercules, Zeus, and the Lionheart. His ID card resembled a scroll from ancient mythology, reflecting the epic nature of his chosen moniker. The name proved so unwieldy that it had to be shortened to fit official documents, but he refused to abandon it entirely. For him, this act was a statement of freedom, creativity, and self-expression, an assertion that one's identity can be as limitless as the imagination itself. In this extraordinary land, where the unusual becomes commonplace, such stories remind us that reality often surpasses fiction, and the spirit of individuality and eccentricity is alive and well in the most unexpected of places. The Guinness World Records has officially recognized a certain name as the longest ever recorded in history. While at first glance it might sound like a punchline from a comedy sketch, this story actually offers a fascinating glimpse into the level of individualism that characterizes this particular region of the world. After all, why settle for the ordinary name of John Smith when you have the opportunity to craft a legend of your own? This leads into the intriguing tale of a country that seems to be perpetually forgotten on the world's maps. Number 13. a nation that is repeatedly erased from the global cartographic records. It's astonishing to think that an entire country can simply vanish without the occurrence of war, natural disaster, or political upheaval. Instead, it quietly disappears from maps, educational textbooks, globes, and even museum exhibits, time and time again. Such frequent omissions have become so commonplace that the residents of New Zealand, in particular, have turned this phenomenon into a part of their national humor and identity. Yet, in reality, it is far from amusing to be forgotten repeatedly, not just once, but dozens of times. From posters of IKEA to various visual presentations, from international summits to official government websites, New Zealand's presence on the world stage has often been absent. The country's disappearance from maps has been so frequent that it has become a running joke among locals, a sort of shared cultural quirk. However, behind this humorous facade lies a deeper issue: the painful reality for a nation that finds itself invisible far more often than it is visible. The problem has become so persistent that it even inspired a humorous tourism campaign called Put New Zealand on the Map, which featured well-known personalities, including actor Reza Darby and Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, attempting to highlight the country's overlooked status. Despite these efforts, the disappearances have not ceased. They continue to occur with surprising regularity. In the year 2023, even the United Nations Climate Report once again failed to mention New Zealand in its documentation. Many attribute this ongoing invisibility to the country's geographical placement, located in the bottom right corner of most world maps, making it easy for cartographers to omit or cut it out. Others believe that this phenomenon reflects a subconscious bias in the creation of visual materials, where countries in the Northern Hemisphere tend to be prioritized, overshadowing those in the South. Either way, this persistent neglect has fostered a bizarre crisis of national identity. How does a country prove its existence when the world continuously forgets it? For New Zealanders, this paradoxical situation is a strange blend of humor, invisibility, and a subtle sense of existential frustration, a peculiar struggle to assert their place on the global stage. Moving on to the next point, let us consider the unique linguistic culture of the Kiwis, the proud inhabitants of this distant island nation. Number 12 on our list involves a particular four-letter word that begins with the letter F. Is this word, often considered profane, actually woven into the fabric of the national language? In this remote country, one specific four-letter term has become so ingrained in everyday speech that it is used as freely as words like friend or thank you. Yes, you heard that right. In New Zealand, this F word has transcended its usual taboo status and has become a cultural element in its own right. It is not rare to hear it in casual conversations, at workplaces, and even in the speeches of politicians. Former politician Hanya Harawaira once uttered this word live during a broadcast, explaining that it's simply how everyone talks there, and he was entirely correct. In this context, the word is not employed to shock or offend but rather as a genuine expression of emotion. Whether it's anger, joy, sarcasm, or an attempt to intensify a statement's impact, this word functions as a sort of emotional shorthand, an informal cipher that communicates feelings directly and honestly. A study conducted in the year 2020 revealed that New Zealanders, especially the younger generation, use this word more frequently than their counterparts in most other English-speaking nations. Furthermore, the standards of broadcast media in New Zealand are noticeably more relaxed. Censorship in the country's media is significantly less strict compared to more conservative regions elsewhere. Many locals see this linguistic openness not as a sign of disrespect but as a reflection of sincerity and authenticity that gives the national speech a raw, unfiltered quality. This frankness fosters a sense of genuine expression and straightforwardness, which many New Zealanders value as an integral part of their cultural identity. One of the most insightful companies focused on mental health even chose to fully embrace a particular word to highlight some of the most significant issues related to well-being. Despite this bold choice, the importance of context remains paramount, especially considering the relaxed cultural atmosphere that pervades the environment. Respect and the tone of communication are still crucial, and one should not be surprised if they hear this word uttered casually while shopping in a grocery store or wandering along a scenic hiking trail. In a world where language often tiptoes around uncomfortable truths, Kiwi speakers tend to speak openly and directly, without filters or unnecessary formalities, sharing their thoughts honestly and from the heart. Further away than most can imagine lies a place so remote that it is often referred to as the most solitary location on Earth. It might seem incredible, but perhaps precisely this seclusion is what makes this place so uniquely special. Number 11 on our list is that very country, the most isolated country on the planet. Could there be a place so distant that even global mapping services like Google find it challenging to determine its neighboring territories? Far out in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, over 2,000 kilometers away from the nearest continent, lies a nation frequently called the most geographically isolated on Earth, New Zealand. Its closest major neighbor, Australia, is just a 3-hour flight away, yet the distances to Asia, Africa, or America seem as vast and unreachable as traveling to another planet altogether. Historically, sailors referred to New Zealand as the end of the world, and ancient mapmakers often omitted it entirely from their charts, not out of neglect, but because its remoteness made it seem almost otherworldly. Yet, this sense of isolation is not synonymous with emptiness. On the contrary, what New Zealand may lack in immediate proximity to other lands, it more than compensates for through pristine natural beauty. Thanks to some of the world's strictest biosecurity laws and minimal external interference, its natural environment remains remarkably untouched. The air quality in New Zealand is among the lowest on the planet, and the southern skies are renowned for their astonishing clarity, offering some of the most spectacular stargazing opportunities anywhere in the world. This remoteness shapes not only the landscape but also the character of its people. The worldview of the Kiwi reflects a calm resilience, independent thinking, and a strong desire to solve problems without relying on outside assistance. From this cultural foundation arose the concept of wire number 8, a fine, versatile fencing wire that was once used for virtually everything because help was simply not available. Even on a social level, the distance leaves its mark. Time zones are so offset that New Zealanders often joke they live in the future, in tomorrow. Global trends arrive here late, or sometimes not at all, which has helped the country develop a distinctive rhythm and voice. In a world obsessed with instant communication, New Zealand takes pride in its remoteness, not as a sign of lagging behind, but as a form of beautiful, meaningful solitude. It is a conscious, thoughtful retreat from the chaos of modern connectivity, allowing the country to maintain a unique identity. This sense of distance and separation fosters a particular kind of pride and independence that is evident in many aspects of life. Such a location is not merely a geographical fact but a defining element of the national character, one that values self-reliance, resilience, and a deep connection to the natural world. This remarkable place continues to inspire awe and admiration, reminding us that sometimes, true beauty and strength lie in being apart from the rest of the world. In this context, it is worth noting that maintaining such an isolated existence does not mean a lack of progress or modernity. Instead, it cultivates a culture that is both innovative and deeply rooted in tradition. The natural environment's preservation, the community's self-sufficiency, and the distinctive pace of life all contribute to making New Zealand an extraordinary example of how distance can shape identity in profound ways. As we explore more about this remarkable land, it becomes clear that its remoteness is not merely a geographical feature but a vital part of its soul, an enduring testament to the strength found in solitude and the resilience born from living in one of the most isolated corners of the world. This unique character continues to attract those seeking tranquility, authenticity, and a genuine connection to nature, proving that sometimes, being the furthest away from everything may be exactly what makes a place truly special. New Zealand holds the distinguished honor of being the very first nation in the world to grant women the right to vote, doing so back in the year of 1893, well ahead of many other countries. This pioneering act of social progress laid a solid foundation for the country to develop into one of the most socially egalitarian societies on the planet. Here, women do not wait for subtle hints or cues. Instead, they are known for their proactive approach, whether it's in the realm of online dating applications or in everyday life interactions. It is perfectly normal, almost expected, for women to take the initiative, and local attitudes suggest that passivity often causes more confusion or disinterest than attraction. However, This dynamism does not stem from a desire to dominate but is rooted in principles of honesty, mutual respect, and clarity. Such confidence and straightforwardness are evident not only in romantic pursuits but also in leadership and professional spheres. From Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern to pilots, CEOs, and firefighters, women in New Zealand are active, influential, and unashamed of their roles. Visitors often remark on the unique atmosphere that pervades the country. Here, deception and playing games are frowned upon. Instead, sincerity and authenticity are cherished. In this cultural environment, directness is not perceived as rudeness but rather as a refreshing norm that fosters openness. For those accustomed to traditional gender roles, such an approach might come as a genuine revelation. Initiative is not only welcomed here, it is expected. And ahead lies a story that is less assertive but infinitely more charming and gentle. Now, imagine a place where the sheep population far exceeds the human count by a factor of 6. Welcome to the kingdom of sheep. Is there anywhere on Earth where the population is measured not by people but by livestock? New Zealand comes remarkably close to this reality. The country is home to over 25 million sheep, while its human population is just over 5 million. These fluffy, herbivorous creatures outnumber the residents nearly 6 to 1, a ratio that was once as high as 20 to 1 during the 80s. Although the numbers have decreased over the decades, the iconic image of endless green pastures dotted with white, woolly figures remains deeply ingrained in the national identity. The sight of vast, lush fields stretching as far as the eye can see, sprinkled with clouds of white wool, resembles floating islands of fluff on emerald hills. Sheep farming here is much more than a cliché. It forms the economic backbone of the country. Exporting wool, meat, and dairy products to the global markets, New Zealand's sheep farms are spread across the entire land. Travel in any direction, and you will soon encounter a flock leisurely crossing the road, as if the road belongs to them. In a way, it truly does. Sheep have become an unofficial symbol of the nation, appearing on postcards, souvenirs, sculptures, and even dedicated museums celebrating the art of sheep shearing. The Golden Shears competition in Masterton has transformed sheep shearing into a high-speed sport, where participants race to see who can shear a sheep the fastest. But the bond between the people and their sheep runs deeper than mere entertainment. It is woven into the very fabric of history. Sheep farming played a crucial role in the early colonial development of New Zealand, shaping much of the island's landscape. Even today, the country's wool is renowned worldwide for its quality, emphasizing not quantity but heritage and tradition. Amid the era of modern technology, one of New Zealand's proudest symbols, a flock of sheep, still peacefully grazes in the fields, serving as a reminder of resilience, rhythm, and the enduring legacy of the land. Further west, the capital city, Wellington, stands out as the windiest capital in the entire world. Here, the wind blows with such ferocity that residents often have to hold their coffee with both hands, and even their hats might need to be secured tightly. This city, known for its relentless gales, adapts to the constant gusts in a way that is almost routine. Life in Wellington is shaped by the powerful, swirling air, and the locals have developed a unique resilience and sense of humor that makes dealing with such winds an everyday reality. Despite the strong gusts, or perhaps because of them, the city's lively atmosphere remains unshaken, an urban landscape that continues to thrive amid the howling and whistling. In Wellington, strong winds are simply part of the daily rhythm, and life goes on with a remarkable sense of normalcy, as if to say that the gusts are just another feature of the city's character, adding a touch of wild beauty to its vibrant life. Welcome to Wellington, the southernmost capital city on the planet, renowned not only for its geographical position but also for its relentless windiness, making it the windiest capital in terms of average wind speed. Nestled at the southern tip of New Zealand's North Island, this city stands at a narrow point where the Tasman Sea narrows into the Cook Strait, creating a natural environment that seems almost designed to trap and channel powerful air currents. Here, gusts often exceed 60 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 37 miles per hour, and these strong winds blow steadily for more than 180 days each year. During stormy periods, the wind heightens even further, transforming Wellington into a place where the very air seems alive with movement. This isn't merely a gentle breeze, it's an integral part of life in the city. Trees grow at dramatic angles, their branches leaning sideways as if bowing to the wind's authority. Pedestrians walk with focused determination, bracing themselves as if ascending the heights of Mount Everest, their bodies leaning into the gusts. Locals often humorously refer to Wellington as the Windy City, or jokingly call it the city where umbrellas go to die, because the relentless wind frequently turns umbrellas inside out, rendering them useless in a matter of seconds. In fact, encountering turned inside-out umbrellas has become almost a rite of passage for newcomers and residents alike. Despite all this chaos and turbulence, Wellington remains one of New Zealand's most beloved cities. Its harbour gleams, the surrounding hills rise dramatically into the sky, and the streets are alive with cafes, bookstores, art galleries, and film studios. This vibrant cultural hub is often compared to San Francisco, largely because of its hilly terrain and creative spirit, but with the added flair of fierce wind and a more aromatic coffee culture, especially the famous New Zealand latte. The wild, unpredictable weather contributes significantly to Wellington's distinctive character, imbuing it with a raw, unrestrained energy that fuels its creative and entrepreneurial spirit. Living in this city demands adaptability, resilience, and a good sense of humor. Its residents embrace these qualities willingly. When nature refuses to be merely a background, locals don't resist but instead learn to dance with the wind. It's not about hiding from the storm. It's about moving in harmony with it, turning adversity into an energetic dance. Beyond Wellington, New Zealand as a whole is a land where daring adventures are woven into the very fabric of daily life, where jumping from bridges and flying through the air with parachutes are not extreme sports but ordinary weekend activities. This is a country that takes pride in its reputation as a haven for thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies. Here, jumping from bridges is considered a national pastime, and the culture of risk-taking runs deep, almost as if it's encoded into the national identity itself. The story begins in 1988 when A.J. Hackett established the world's first commercial bridge jump site on the Kawarau Bridge near Queenstown. Since that pioneering moment, New Zealand has transformed into a global playground for those eager to experience adrenaline-fueled adventures. Imagine leaping from 15,000 feet in the air with a parachute, feeling the rush of free fall before the parachute deploys and you glide gracefully back to Earth. Or racing at high speeds, 85 kilometers per hour, on a sleek, powerful boat through narrow, twisting channels, feeling the wind whip past your face as you cling to the steering. These are not extraordinary tales. They are part of everyday life here. People often spend their days exploring glaciers on foot, skiing from helicopters onto snow-covered slopes, rafting through wild rivers, zipping along zip lines over lush forests, or descending into volcanic craters, all within a single trip. The list of activities is nearly endless, and the best part is that these adventures are accessible not only to tourists but also to locals who grow up with this spirit of exploration from childhood. It's common for school camps to include rock climbing and canyoning, and birthdays are celebrated with days packed full of aerial adventures. The local mentality can be summed up in a simple phrase: give it a try. This approach isn't driven by a desire for risk for its own sake but by a sincere passion for living life to the fullest. The breathtaking landscapes of New Zealand, mountains that seem to touch the sky, volcanic ranges that paint the horizon, endless coastlines that stretch as far as the eye can see, offer a constant invitation to indulge in the thrill of adventure. The National Tourism Board proudly proclaims the country as the world's adventure capital, and Queenstown, in particular, wears this title with pride, offering everything from dizzying canyon swings to zip lines soaring over alpine lakes. Yet what is perhaps most remarkable about this culture of adventure isn't just the extreme activities themselves but how ordinary they've become. In New Zealand, pushing limits and seeking new experiences is woven into everyday life, making it a place where daring is the norm. And imagine leaping off a towering cliff straight into a pristine glacial lake, feeling the rush of cold, clear water enveloping you in an instant. Or perhaps you prefer the thrill of balancing on a narrow mountain trail, suspended hundreds of meters above the ground, with the sheer drop beneath your feet. For a place like New Zealand, such daring adventures are simply a typical Tuesday, part of everyday life in a land where extraordinary experiences are woven into the fabric of daily existence. And yet, beyond the adrenaline rushes and natural wonders, this country has a way of completely reshaping what we traditionally think of as holidays and celebrations. Picture unpacking presents under the blazing sun, with the warm rays casting a golden glow over the beach, instead of the usual winter scenes we associate with Christmas. Imagine preparing a festive dinner right there on the sandy shoreline, sizzling seafood on a portable grill, with the scent of the ocean mingling with holiday spices. This is what Christmas looks like in New Zealand, an extraordinary summer holiday, where the season of joy coincides with the height of the Southern Hemisphere's summer. It's the sixth way this country redefines the holiday experience. Visualize the aroma of sunscreen wafting through the air, the rhythmic crashing of waves as background noise, and the distant crackle of a barbecue. Somewhere nearby, the festive hum of holiday music blends with the sounds of nature, and perhaps a Santa wearing beach shorts and flip-flops is making his rounds, instead of the traditional red suit. Here, Christmas is celebrated in the warmth of the sun, with the landscape transformed into a vibrant, lively scene of outdoor feasts and seaside merriment. The Christmas tree might be decorated with shells and tropical ornaments, and instead of snowflakes, there are bright, colorful lights shimmering in the summer night. In New Zealand, the holiday traditions adapt seamlessly to the season, yet retain their warm, joyful spirit. Children are just as excited to tear into presents, but instead of waterlogged mittens, they're wielding water pistols, splashing each other with gleeful abandon. The main Christmas meal is no longer a heavy roasted turkey, but a platter of fresh seafood, crisp salads, and fruit pavlova. The airy, meringue-based dessert topped with fresh fruit and whipped cream, embodying the lightness and freshness of summer. Santa's arrival might happen on a boat, arriving by jet ski, or even descending from a helicopter, rather than sliding down chimneys. Instead of ringing bells, there might be ukuleles and guitars playing lively beach tunes, creating a festive soundtrack that perfectly matches the relaxed, carefree atmosphere. Yet, despite these playful adaptations, many of the classic traditions remain. People still watch snowy Christmas movies, or sprinkle artificial snow on windows just to evoke a winter wonderland mood, even if the actual weather says otherwise. Schools teach children both versions of Christmas carols, some about snow and winter, others about summer sunshine and ocean breezes. This playful fusion of winter nostalgia and summer freedom creates a unique holiday atmosphere that locals cherish deeply. It's a Christmas that's more about barefoot strolls on warm sands, gathering with loved ones outdoors, and basking in the sun's glow than bundling up against the cold. It's a celebration that redefines what it means to enjoy the holiday season: more vibrant, more spontaneous, and undeniably memorable. Now, shifting from festive holidays to peaceful retirement, there exists a place in this remarkable country where waking up to breathtaking mountain vistas, sipping wine on vineyard terraces, and wandering along deserted beaches is just part of everyday life. This is New Zealand, a nation consistently ranked among the best places in the world to retire comfortably and happily. Here, the combination of fresh mountain air, low crime rates, and a healthcare system that is both reliable and affordable creates an environment where peace of mind is a natural state of being. Imagine living in a cozy village on the southern island, where every morning you wake up to views of snow-capped peaks, or in a sunny seaside town on the northern coast, where the ocean's gentle waves beckon for a walk at sunset. The pace of life is slow and unhurried, allowing residents to truly savor each moment. The community spirit is strong. Neighbors greet each other by name, and a sense of belonging permeates daily life. Picturesque walking trails are just minutes from home, offering opportunities to connect with nature and reflect on the simple beauty around you. Nature here is a constant reminder to slow down and breathe deeply. Whether it's a stroll through lush forests, a visit to local farmers markets, or joining a pottery class with friends, these activities become woven into the fabric of everyday routines. The social scene is lively yet intimate, with book clubs, craft groups, and outdoor exercise classes enriching the community. Although New Zealand is not the cheapest country to live in, the high quality of life, the safety, and the health services make every dollar spent worthwhile. Providing residents with genuine peace of mind and satisfaction, this isn't a place where you simply fade into the background, where your presence goes unnoticed or unremarked. On the contrary, it is a land where true conscious living begins, where every moment invites you to embrace life with open eyes and an open heart. Now, as we shift our focus from tranquil serenity to vibrant energy, we find ourselves immersed in a whirlwind of excitement, an exhilarating fusion of fire shows, street parades, and Maori traditions, all coming together in one unforgettable celebration. This is the fourth highlight, a series of colorful festivals that demand your attention and cannot be missed. What happens when ancient customs meet modern flair beneath a canopy of stars? In New Zealand, festivals transcend ordinary events. They become grand theatrical displays woven seamlessly into the natural landscape. While many travelers' gaze is often captivated by the breathtaking scenery, towering mountains, lush forests, shimmering coastlines, it is these festivals that truly breathe life into the scenery, transforming quiet vistas into stages of vivid expression. One such celebration is the Matariki, the Maori New Year, which unites ancestral stories, spectacular fireworks, and communal feasts into a luminous festival of renewal and reflection. Meanwhile, the Wellington-based World of Wearable Art Festival elevates fashion into a surreal, theatrical spectacle, where clothing becomes art and creativity knows no bounds. During summer, music enthusiasts gather at the WM & Wines Festival, set amid sprawling vineyards overlooking the vast Pacific Ocean, creating a perfect harmony of melodious tunes and scenic beauty. Coastal towns burst into life with aromas of gastronomic festivals, lively processions carrying lanterns, the powerful haka dance performed under the open sky, and outdoor cinemas screening films beneath the stars. Even the tiniest villages host their own unique and vibrant traditions, each adding a distinct splash of color to the cultural palette of the country. As evening falls, the only sounds you might hear are the whispering wind through the valley, a gentle lullaby of nature. Yet, by dawn, the darkness is pierced by the fiery glow of performers dancing with flames, illuminating the night with their skill and passion. Here, culture is not confined behind museum glass. It is alive and pulsating in the streets, inviting everyone to join the circle, to participate, to celebrate. Now, shifting our focus to the culinary delights that defy expectations and redefine what comfort food can be, this is the third highlight. New Zealand's cuisine offers a truly unique experience, blending indigenous Maori traditions with colonial influences and a touch of modern innovation. It's a culinary landscape where history and creativity collide, producing dishes that surprise and delight. One of the most iconic culinary practices is the hangi, an ancient method of cooking meat and vegetables underground, using heated stones. This process results in food that is smoky, tender, and imbued with a deep, soulful flavor, often served during festivals and family gatherings rather than in restaurants. The dessert known as pavlova, a fluffy meringue topped with whipped cream and fresh fruits, has sparked friendly debates with Australia about its origins. Nevertheless, most Kiwis pridefully claim it as their own, and it remains a perennial favorite on summer tables, evoking memories of childhood and warm summer days. A must-try dish is freshly caught fish paired with crispy chips, best enjoyed barefoot on a sun-kissed beach, where the salty breeze complements every bite. And no culinary journey in New Zealand would be complete without savoring the beloved meat pie, which comes in countless varieties, from classic minced beef to chicken in creamy curry sauce, and even a delicious version featuring succulent mussels in rich, buttery cream. Yes, a pie filled with mussels exists, and it is nothing short of divine. Complement that with a scoop of hokey pokey ice cream, sprinkled with crunchy caramel bits, and you begin to understand the local taste. A delightful blend of comfort and adventure, tradition intertwined with unexpected twists. In this land, food is far more than mere sustenance. It is a story, a cultural expression, a reflection of identity wrapped in flaky, golden pastry. The landscape that awaits is just as cinematic as the cuisine, so breathtaking that Hollywood itself couldn't resist capturing its beauty. And no, this isn't a fantasy. It is all real, and it is waiting for you to explore. Our second highlight takes us to the most remarkable destinations in New Zealand. Places so extraordinary that they have become must-see icons for any traveler eager to experience the true essence of this remarkable country. Is it truly possible for a nation no larger than the state of Colorado to encompass such a remarkable diversity of natural wonders? Glaciers, volcanoes, subtropical beaches, and fjords, all within just a few hours' drive? Without a doubt, this country not only excites with its breathtaking landscapes but also leaves visitors utterly awestruck by the sheer variety and intensity of its scenery. Every corner of this land offers a unique visual feast, a distinct slice of natural beauty that seems almost too extraordinary to be real. On the southern island, towering cliffs and cascading waterfalls of Milford Sound evoke images that seem to belong to a mythical realm. The scenery here is so striking and surreal that it feels like stepping into a legend, where every view is a masterpiece carved by nature itself. Nearby, Queenstown draws thrill-seekers and snow lovers from around the globe, offering adrenaline-pumping adventures and pristine winter landscapes that seem straight out of a postcard. Meanwhile, the tranquility of the Bay of Islands provides a peaceful retreat for those seeking serenity, away from the bustling crowds, an idyllic spot where one can relax and enjoy nature's calm embrace. Further north, the town of Rotorua is renowned for its bubbling geysers and the rich cultural heritage of the Maori people, offering a fascinating glimpse into the country's indigenous traditions and geothermal wonders. In the depths of the Waitomo Caves, thousands of bioluminescent insects create a mesmerizing glow, illuminating the darkness with their delicate, twinkling lights, a natural spectacle that captivates all who witness it. And across the waters of the Bay of Plenty, the islands beckon with inviting beaches and crystal-clear waves, perfect for kayaking alongside playful dolphins or simply soaking up the sun on sandy shores that look like they've been plucked from a travel magazine. Even the urban centers here manage to harmonize seamlessly with their surrounding natural environment. Wellington, the capital city, nestles comfortably between lush hills and a busy harbor, blending modern life with scenic beauty. In Auckland, volcanoes loom in the distance, and beaches are just a short drive away, offering a perfect balance of urban comfort and outdoor adventure. New Zealand is not merely a collection of sights to see, it is an ongoing adventure, where each destination feels like the highlight of the entire journey. Every stop unveils a new chapter in a storybook of natural wonders, making the experience feel endless and continuously exhilarating. Yet, behind this paradise lies a more complex reality. Living in such a breathtaking land doesn't come cheap. The country's extraordinary appeal comes at a price, and the cost of life here can be surprisingly high. Number 1 on the list of challenges is the elevated cost of living. Can a place that feels like a dream simultaneously be a financial burden? The answer is yes. While New Zealand offers raw, untouched beauty, safety, and a laid-back lifestyle that many aspire to, it also demands a significant financial commitment from its residents. It ranks among the most expensive countries to live in within the Pacific region, with essential expenses such as groceries, fuel, and rent eating up a large portion of income. A simple cup of coffee at a local cafe often exceeds $5, which is quite steep compared to other countries. Renting a modest apartment in Auckland can cost nearly $2,000 per month, and this figure does not even include utilities or other household expenses. The reason behind these high prices is geographical. The country's remoteness from major global suppliers means that most goods must undertake long, costly journeys before reaching stores. Additionally, the limited availability of housing, especially in urban centers, drives prices even higher. This scarcity is felt deeply by locals, who often find it challenging to secure affordable accommodation. According to a Dave Taisachi Devadkat Seatire report from Consumer NZ, more than 70% of New Zealanders express serious concerns about the affordability and accessibility of housing and everyday life. Many residents have taken measures such as growing their own vegetables, carpooling to work, or relocating to smaller towns to reduce expenses. Despite these economic hurdles, many people choose to stay. Once they breathe in the crisp, pure air, gaze upon pristine lakes, or stroll along silent beaches, they find it incredibly difficult to leave. The undeniable allure of this country, with its unspoiled nature and peaceful pace, often outweighs the financial costs. For many, the paradise is worth every penny, an investment in a quality of life that is hard to match elsewhere. I hope you enjoyed today's exploration of this extraordinary land. If you found this journey inspiring, take a moment to reflect on the incredible diversity and allure of such a place. Stay tuned for more in-depth stories about fascinating countries and hidden corners of the world. Your support helps us continue creating engaging and informative content that brings distant lands closer to you. Be sure to watch the next video that appears on your screen, as it promises to be just as captivating. And if you'd like to share your thoughts or suggest which country we should explore next, please leave a comment below. Thanks.